I am founder and MD of an agency called Leapfrogg. We are a retail marketing agency working predominantly in the digital space with retailers. And our philosophy as an agency is to make our clients, customers happy. And we do that by firstly understanding as much as we can about their customers, the experience they want when shopping online with our clients' brands, and helping them to deliver that experience across all digital channels. Just to prove that I hopefully know what I'm talking about, here's some of the lovely brands that we have supported or currently support. So, for a while now, the message to retailers and brands has been customer experience, only those retailers who can offer the seamless experience, brand experience across all channels will survive in today's complex marketplace. That's very true, and I'm sure everyone in the room will agree it's really important, but a lot of retailers that we come across are struggling with where to start in becoming a customer-centric organisation. It's going to require lots of organisational change, new resource, new skills within the business. So what I want to talk to you in main today is just to give you some examples of how you can use just nuggets of additional insight about your customers to tweak and improve the marketing that you're doing already to start becoming customer-centric or customer-led business without having to wait for that big organisational change. So I'm going to just talk you through the digital marketing landscape as it stands today and the role that that plays within the modern consumer journey. I'm going to then talk you through the things that we feel you really need to understand about your customers in order to improve the impact of your marketing. And I'm going to just give you some examples, real-life examples of how we've just used certain nuggets of additional customer insight to help improve the results of the digital marketing tactics that many of you in the room will be employing already. So, digital marketing landscape today. It consists of a number of different disciplines, which have all cropped up over the last 10 years. But the way that they really should be working in 2015 is that they should be working overlapping each other with the customer at the heart of everything. But a lot of retailers are struggling with, if I've got to tailor all my digital marketing and all those different disciplines together, how do I really understand the customers that I'm marketing to, and how do I put them in the middle of all of this marketing that we're doing? And how do we tailor the marketing to the different types of customers that we have buying from us? Because as we all know, we don't have just one type of person buying from us at any particular time. So before I talk about trying to answer those questions, I thought it would be very useful just to go back to revisiting the very basic customer journey that we're all aware of and understand the complexity of how the different digital marketing tactics that you can employ will affect the experience that your customers get. So we all know standard customer journey: awareness, into consideration, purchase, and then retention. And many marketing departments are set up in those kind of disciplines. So you might have an acquisition team, you might have a retention team. But most of the time, the tactics that each of those departments or teams employ cross over a lot. And to be able to provide that seamless experience, it's really important to understand how those tactics cross over. So what we did at Leapfrogg is I gave the team an hour to brainstorm all of the potential touch points digitally that a brand could utilise to engage with their customers at each stage of their buying journey. And there's a lot there. You're not going to be able to read all the words within them, but just within an hour we came up with well over 100 digital touch points that a brand could potentially engage with their customers on. So if I just move into the consideration phase, there alone are 28 different digital touch points that could form some sort of engagement with your customers. So then we thought, okay, so these are all the touch points that a customer could come across our clients. What are all the digital marketing tactics that we know will affect the experience that consumers get on each of those touch points? So we went away and brainstormed those, and it gets, I think, even more pretty, but some people would say more complex. because there are a huge amount of digital marketing tactics which affect those touch points, and the same tactics are affecting those touch points at every stage of the buying journey. So just to show you, if we just zoom into 2 touch points just within the consideration phase, we came up with 11 different digital marketing tactics that a retailer could be employing to influence the experience that the consumer has on those touch points just at that phase of the buying journey. So the purpose of this exercise was just to show the plethora of different things that a digital marketing team within a retailer or brand needs to be aware of that could potentially impact whether a customer buys from them or not. And what it highlights is the importance of understanding as much as possible about the people that buy from you so that you can simplify it and you can cut down the amount of touch points that you have to worry about, because you can say, well, we know our customers, we know these are the touch points that are going to work best for them, and therefore by understanding more about these customers, we can tailor the fewer digital marketing tactics around those touch points. So what are the things that you need to know about your customers to start cutting down and simplifying that picture? First thing, and I'm preaching to the converted here because by the fact that you're in this room, you understand the importance of segmenting your customers into smaller pots of customer. The way that you choose to do this, there are so many different ways that you can segment your database. There will be a specific method that is right for you. Many of you will already be utilising the great tools that Abacus provide in order to understand the different pockets of your customers. But even we recommend, if you don't have any segmentation in place, just split your customers into male versus female or current versus lapsed, just so that you have a smaller pot of people to start finding out about. So once you split your database down into your pockets of customers, pick the one that you think is of most value to you right now, or maybe of most value to you in the future, and find out as much as you can about them. The things we recommend in order to improve your digital marketing that you understand about your customer are as follows. First of all your standard demographic information, which most of you will be able to get through working with partners such as Abacus. Next, your customers' online and offline shopping habits. So again, I know I'm becoming a salesperson for Abacus, but they've got a range of different reporting, which is brilliant in helping you understand how your customers are shopping with you. But it's understanding things like what products they're buying, what time of day they're shopping, what time of day they're researching, what kind of products they buy offline as opposed to online. Generally, as much information as you can get about the way that your customers are shopping with you. Also understanding their preferred shopping channels, whether they're using their mobile devices on the train in the morning for researching their purchases, which they will then buy at lunchtime on their desktop PC, or they will go into store at a weekend. It's understanding which channels and devices they're using for each stage of the buying journey, which is really important in order for you to be able to start tailoring your marketing towards them and being in the right place at the right time. Then we move on to the more emotional and qualitative information about your customers. We think it's really important that you understand their personal values as a person, what is important to them in life, because once you understand the things that drive them in their day-to-day lives, you can start tailoring your messaging and your marketing communication around them and show that by engaging with your brand or buying your products, you will help them to achieve their personal values in life. Next is to understand what they're evaluating when they're buying. What are the things that are most important to them? Is it the quality of your product? Is it the price of your product? Is it the way it will improve their day-to-day lifestyle? Is it that they just really want to engage with your brand because all their mates have got one of your items? Again, understanding the key evaluators that they use when purchasing from you will help you to make sure that the marketing you're doing towards them gives them the information that they need about your product to buy. Next, really understand their lifestyle and their hobbies and their interests. what they do when they're not buying from you. By understanding this, it's great for forming really good brand collaborations with other brands. It's good to help you tailor your marketing to show that, again, by buying your products or engaging with you, you will help them to achieve the lifestyle that they want. And last but by no means least, understand the type of content that they want to consume when they're on digital touchpoints. So some may be much more influenced by video content than others. Some may be influenced by audio content. Some want to read editorial, written lifestyle copy. Some are just looking for really in-depth product information. Again, it's really important to understand when they're at each stage of the buying journey on each digital touch point, what type of content is going to work best for them. So there's a lot that you, in an ideal world, should understand about your customers. And you don't have to find it out all at once. And I'll give you some examples of how just knowing one of those things will help you improve your marketing. But we couldn't press home more how important it is that once you have all this information, you formulate a persona for each of your segments. You create an actual person, and many of you will probably be doing this already. But gather all of the information that you've got, name them, find a picture which represents them, get it big, put it on the wall. So every time you're planning your marketing and thinking about what you're going to do to engage with them and sell to them, you are emotionally engaged with these people, and you can refer to it and make sure that you're making the right decisions. So I'm just going to give you some real-life examples now of just knowing one or two of those things that I've talked through about your customers can help you start becoming customer-centric and improving the impact of the digital marketing that you're doing. So first thing, understanding purely the location of your customers and where they live. There are obvious solutions available within the room from Abacus to understand through looking at your database exactly where your customers are. If you're not currently using those, you could use your analytics as well. Will give you an indication of where the people that are coming to your site are and purchasing there are residing from. How can you use this information to improve your digital? You can target specific paid search activity around stores to increase multi-channel conversions. You can also use it to understand the propensity of your customers to travel to a store or event based on their location. And you can also use it to track the impact of your online marketing into store sales. So an example is a high-end furniture brand that we were working with, limited sales online because they were a really high-ticket item. So they were using online more of a driver of customers into store. So what we did is we tracked the postcode searches on the website back to quotes and orders and dispatches in store. And what this enabled us to do is see exactly how the online channels drove revenue into stores, but it also helped our client to pick areas for new store openings based on the propensity to travel of current customers in various parts of the country. Understanding what makes your customers buy, and not necessarily what makes them buy from you or what makes them buy products similar to yours generally. A great way you can find out is take your most profitable customers and ask them via a direct survey if they bought from one of your competitors in the last year, and if they did, why did they buy? So give them a list of options to choose from. For example, if you're in clothing, was it a better fit? Do they have a better range of products? Was it a personal recommendation from someone else? Better delivery options, etc. You can send out a questionnaire to lapsed customers as well to find out this information. And I know there are various reports that Abacus can do to help you understand, I think it's the share of wallet, that you can understand where your customers, when they're not shopping with you, who else they're buying from. How can you use this to improve your digital marketing? Well, firstly, when you get the information back, you can fix the reasons within that remit that they bought elsewhere that are in your control. So if they say they bought elsewhere because the fit was better, well, if you're working within the digital marketing team, you can't change the fit of the trousers or the item, but what you can do is improve the size and fit details on the product pages. If they said they bought elsewhere because of personal recommendations, then make reviews more prominent on your site. So these are just examples of how understanding a more general opinion from your customers, you can still focus that down and tailor your digital. So, for example, we had a boutique fashion brand that we were working with, and we discovered size and fit was of most importance to their customers when buying their trousers. So what we did is we helped them develop a range of video content showing real customers, real shapes and sizes in their trousers, and we featured that video on the product pages, so right at conversion point they were able to see real-life people in those items. We also seeded out that content on social. And what we saw is an uplift of 11% on the purchase of those trousers once that content had gone live. But also, an added benefit was the video content was shared across multiple channels because people were engaging with it, and they saw an increase of 6% of new visitors to the site for trouser-related terms from search engines. So again, that's just by understanding one particular thing that was of importance to their customers, we were able to help them produce digital marketing tactics which had additional benefit to them. Another example, understanding what your customers value from you. So how do you find out? You ask your customers via survey or via social media what offers they deem to have the most value when buying from your category. So is it discounts, is it free delivery, returns, etc. Or you can trial those different offers in your ECRM, find out which one works best. How can you use this to improve? Well, you can use it to inform, for example, your remarketing strategy. So you can segment your remarketing lists into those people in different consideration phase. So 30 days for after carrying out specific action on the site, 60 days, 90 days. And then you can create tiered offers using cookies that work best for those customers. So another example of that is we worked with a luxury fashion accessories brand, and we ran a 3-tiered remarketing program based on customer insight that we had gathered. And what we did is after 30 days after a specific action on the site, we remarketed to them offering a free small accessory. And then 60 days, we upped that to a larger gift with purchase. And then after 90 days, we offered free delivery, which that was actually the most expensive thing for that retailer to offer. And the results saw that 30% of the people that hadn't converted in the first place came back to convert on offer 1 or 2, with only 5% waiting for the big discount at the end. So there's an example of just by understanding what's important to your customers, you can tailor the offers to save you money. Understanding hobbies and interests. How do your customers spend their spare time? How do you find out? Again, you can ask your customers in a simple online survey, or there are lots of options available to you for lifestyle demographics just by from analysis of your database. I know Abacus offer that. How can you use this to improve your marketing? Well, you can use it to plan editorial and lifestyle content across all platforms. You can use it to plan effective brand collaborations and competitions. So an example of us using that kind of insight was a male fashion brand, and we found their customers associated with a specific type of music. So we launched a brand awareness content campaign across relevant sites to that type of music, and we also asked music bloggers to get involved to talk about the link between fashion and music subcultures. We ran a Facebook and Twitter giveaway as well in partnership with those bloggers. So because we understood a type of thing that was important to them in their personal life, we were able to find influencers within that sphere to work with us on a campaign. And results saw over 240,000 impressions to relevant new customers by being on those music sites, and a 1,500% increase in average engagement on Facebook. Understanding what media your customers like to consume. How do you find out? Again, you can ask them directly. All of this insight, if you don't have access to third-party information, you can just ask your customers. Give them a list to pick from which you think is relevant. How can you use this to improve? Well, it will help you to be laser-focused in your PR and blogger outreach. And also, once you understand the kind of places that they are consuming media online, you can analyse the content on those places and basically copy the type of content that they're doing because you know it's going to be relevant to your customers. And you can run focused brand collaborations. So an example, again, here was a parent lifestyle brand, and they understood that their customers were really interested in healthy eating and followed a lot of food bloggers as a result. So we teamed up with the Great British Bake Off finalist blogger for a joint giveaway. We created a joint campaign with other influential bloggers within the same space to create recipes for children's lunchboxes. And we had thousands of entries, lots of comments on social media, so again, that was increasing brand awareness. And the people involved with the competition were able to share information and data about the customers and use that ongoing. And last but by no means least, understanding your hero product. So many of you in the room will understand or have access to the data of what your customers buy. But by understanding which products, if a new customer buys them, will indicate they're likely to become a high-value customer, can really help you with your marketing. How can you use this to improve? Well, you can put additional budget into paid adverts for your hero products, and you can place offers to new customers on those products. So again, an example, this is a beauty retailer, and we created a tiered paid search campaign for them where we ring-fenced the 10 brands which they identified as hero brands, which they knew if a new customer came in and bought that product, they were likely to turn into a high-value customer. And what we did is we used that information to be far more aggressive in our bidding strategy around those products, because we knew we could spend more because those people that then came and bought that product would be of higher value over time. So from an additional £6,000 per month spend on clicks, we were able to generate an additional £23,000 in monthly last click revenue, plus the additional repeat purchase from those newly acquired customers being high value. So that's just a few examples of how you can use insight to really boost and focus your marketing and become far more customer-centric within your marketing teams. So steps to get cracking now with it. First of all, select a customer segment to concentrate on. Start with the segment if you increase the number of people within it that will help you reach your targets the quickest. Second, find out as much as you can about that segment. So utilize every available resource that you've got. So you can send out your own surveys, you can utilize focus groups, look at all the analytics and third-party data you've got available to you, any current market research that you've got. Put all of that together and create a detailed profile and name and emotionally engage with that customer. Use pictures, use information about their behaviours, their demographics, their lifestyle values, and their needs and expectations from you when shopping with you, and get it up on the wall. Next, select the key touch points for each buying stage. So use your profile that you've created and use your analytics of how your customers are currently shopping with you, and select which touch points you think this segment will most use at each stage of the buying journey. And just select a few key ones just to start with. And then for each of those touch points that you've selected, think about the digital marketing tactics that you employ already, and those that drive customers to those touch points and those that engage customers once they're there. And then use that insight that you've gathered to refine those tactics. So how can you use what you have found out about that segment to make the marketing you're doing to them even more personalised and engaging? So 3 things to stop doing now is assuming you know who your customers are, marketing in the same way to all your customers, or using the excuse that you don't know where to start in putting the customer at the heart of your marketing. And 3 things to start doing now: ask more questions of your customers. A lot of people are worried about, we can't keep sending surveys out, we can't keep asking our customers, or our customers don't want to know certain things about us. We've run quite a bit of research. We have a panel of consumers that we ask, what is it that you expect the people that you buy from to know about you to be able to personalise the experience? And most of them would say they'd be totally happy for the brands they buy from to ask them questions on a regular basis to make sure that they are delivering them the best shopping experience. So make sure you have a clear persona for each of your key customer segments, and look at those segments every time you make a marketing decision and ask, would it make them happy? For any more information on everything I've talked about today, we have just released a report called Customer First Digital Marketing, which you can download off our website at that URL.